There is someone thinking of you now, at this very moment. While you watch this video, there is a person who cannot get you out of their head. They try to sleep and see your face. They try to forget and remember your scent. They try to move on with life, and their heart pulls back to you. And the strongest thing of all, this person fell in love with you even knowing everything, even after everything, even with all that you hide, that you are ashamed of, that you think makes you impossible to love. God sent this video to your screen today because there is something you need to know before this night ends. And if you leave here before listening, you will miss the revelation that can change the course of your emotional life forever. Stay with me. God says, "My son, my daughter, I know you are tired of love. I know that the last time you opened your heart, you returned with it in pieces. I know you swore to yourself that you would never allow yourself to feel again, that you built a wall so thick around your soul that even you yourself forgot what it is like to live without it. I know that when someone approaches, you already prepare the exit. You already imagine the betrayal before it happens. You already calculate the pain of the end even before the beginning. And I know why. Because the people who should have cared for your heart were precisely the ones who hurt it the most. The father who did not know how to love, the mother who demanded too much and embraced too little, the ex who promised the world and delivered abandonment, the friend who knew your secrets and used them against you. Each of these people left a mark, and these marks accumulated until they formed a belief that today lives inside your chest as if it were absolute truth. I am not worthy of being truly loved. This wound you carry, this wall you raised around your heart, this disbelief that accompanies you like a shadow, none of this was born by chance, and none of this is permanent. There is a spiritual movement happening around your emotional life that goes far beyond your emotional scars. If you are feeling a weight in your chest right now and not in your throat, if something in these words touched a place you thought was numb, pay attention to this sign, because this is not a passing sensitivity. It is your spirit recognizing a truth that your mind has been trying to block. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This material does not only speak of salvation in the sense you know, it opens your eyes to see how God acts in every dimension of your existence, including the part that hurts the most: love. Those who read it wrote to me saying that for the first time they understood why their heart locked, and how to unlock it without destroying themselves in the process. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. This content may be taken down without notice, and if something inside you vibrated with what you just heard, write in the comments the word restored, because when you declare it, heaven records it. Now come back with me, because I have not finished speaking with you yet. You hear this phrase inside your head every day, when you look in the mirror, when you see happy couples on the street, when you open the dating app and close it after 30 seconds, because you already know that no one there will truly want you. When someone praises you, and instead of accepting it, your mind immediately says, if this person knew who I really am, they would run away. I know this voice, and I need to tell you something about it. This voice is not yours. This belief was not born with you. It was planted. Every rejection you suffered watered this seed. Every abandonment fertilized this thought. Every betrayal made the roots grow deeper. And today this lie lives inside you as if it were part of your DNA. But it is not. It is a prison built brick by those who did not deserve to have access to your heart. And now I am going to reveal something to you that will shake this entire structure. Pay attention, because what I am going to say now is not cheap consolation. It is not a motivational phrase from social media. It is a spiritual truth that is happening at this very moment in the dimension that your eyes do not see. God says, there is a person, and this person fell in love with you. I will describe to you how this happened because it was not the way you imagine. It was not love at first sight. It was not a passing enchantment. It was not an attraction that goes away at the first difficulty. This person observed you, from afar at first. They saw how you treat others even when no one is looking. They saw how you get up after falling. They saw how you hold back tears so as not to worry those around you. They saw your strength disguised as silence. They saw your kindness hidden behind a serious face. They saw how you take care of those you love, even when no one takes care of you. And everything they saw ignited something inside them that they themselves did not expect. At first they tried to ignore it. They thought, "This will pass." It did not pass. They thought, "It is just admiration." It was not. They thought, "I should not feel this." But they felt it, and the more they tried to erase it, the stronger it became. It was not a flash in the pan, it was an ember, one of those that burn slowly but never go out. The intensity of what this person feels for you defies all human logic. And if your heart is beating faster while you hear this, it is because deep down, you know it is true. Something moved inside you, something you tried to silence a long time ago. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This material was written for those who feel that God is moving in areas of life that were paralyzed by fear and hurt. If you carry the spiritual responsibility of your family and feel you need direction to understand this new cycle, this book is the next step. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. Do not delay. The enemy wants you to think you have time, but God says the time is now. And then comes the part you need to hear with great attention. This person knows about your flaws. They know about what you hide. They know about your bad days, your impatience, your fear, your insecurities. They know about that defect you find unbearable in yourself. They know about that part of your story that you never tell anyone. They know about the weight you carry pretending it is light. They know about the times you lost your patience and regretted it later. They know you are not perfect. And even so, even knowing all this, the feeling did not diminish. On the contrary, it grew, because what this person feels is not based on the perfect version you try to show the world. It is based on who you really are, with the cracks, with the scars, with the stains you try to hide, with the fatigue you disguise as strength, with the loneliness you disguise as independence. And this, my son, my daughter, this is the kind of love I created. Not the love that demands perfection, not the love that requires you to be someone you are not the love that accepts you today and abandons you tomorrow when it discovers who you really are, but the love that looks at your entire truth and says, "I choose to stay. I choose to stay when it is easy and when it is difficult, when you are well and when you are at rock bottom, when the whole world applauds you and when no one else is looking." I know you are afraid now. I know that hearing this triggers an alert siren inside you, because every time something seemed too good, the fall came. Every time you allowed yourself to believe, disappointment came, and your body learned to protect itself. Your heart created a defense system so sophisticated that today you reject the blessing even before it arrives, just so as not to run the risk of suffering again. How many times have you said, "I am fine alone"? How many times did you repeat this, looking at the ceiling, in the middle of the night, trying to convince yourself it was true? How many times did you see a love scene in a movie and pretend you felt nothing, when in fact you felt everything? In Brazil, research shows that millions of people over 35 years old live alone, not by real choice, but by fear disguised as choice. They open the dating app and close it in 30 seconds. They receive a compliment and are suspicious. They feel attraction and flee, because deep down, the pain of those who have already been abandoned screams louder than any desire to love again. But I need to ask you something, and I want you to answer sincerely, even if only inside your head. Until when? Until when will you punish the future for the mistakes of the past? Until when will you close the front door because one day thieves entered through the window? Until when will you refuse the gift I prepared for you just because others gave you empty boxes? Until when will you use pain as a shield and loneliness as a trench? Proverbs 19:21 says, "Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." You made plans to protect yourself, plans to never get hurt again, plans to live alone forever if necessary, but my purpose prevails, and my purpose includes someone by your side. Not just anyone, someone specific, someone I molded with patience, someone who went through their own deserts, their own betrayals, their own sleepless nights to arrive ready for you, someone who will not treat you as an option, as a plan B, as a pastime. Because for this person, you are already the answer to a prayer they made when they thought love had ended for them too. Now listen to me. I'm going to show you 5 signs. 5 evidences that this love is already in motion. Things you may have already noticed but dismissed as coincidence. Things your heart felt but your rational mind sought to invalidate. Pay attention to each one, because if you recognize 3 or more, the spiritual movement around your love life is much greater than you imagine, and each sign you recognize is one more confirmation that God has not forgotten you in this area. The signs you are about to hear will confirm what your heart already feels, but your mind still resists accepting. And this resistance has a name. It is the wall that fear built. Each recognized sign is a brick being removed from that wall. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This material is the compass for those who feel that God is opening a new chapter, but do not know how to cross the door. It connects every point you are living now to the larger plan that was designed for your life. The link is in the description of the video and at the top of the comments. Every day that passes without this clarity is one more day living below what God prepared for you. And if this video has already changed something inside you, write in the comments, "My heart is open." Because when you declare in public what you decide in silence, heaven moves in your favor. First sign, you have been dreaming of someone, not necessarily with a defined face. Sometimes it is a presence, a feeling that someone is by your side in bed, at the table, in the car. You wake up with a strange longing for someone who has not yet arrived, a longing without a face, without a name, but with an intensity that tightens the chest, as if your spirit already knew this person before your eyes saw them. You miss someone who has not yet appeared. And when you wake up, there remains that void, that feeling that the dream was more real than reality. Has it ever happened that you woke up in the middle of the night with the certainty that someone was there, close, almost touching? This is not neediness. It is not loneliness making your mind play tricks. It is your spirit recognizing what God has already prepared in the spiritual plane, and which is about to manifest in the physical plane. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will grant the desires of your heart." This desire that lives in the depths of your chest, to be truly loved, to have someone to share the weight and the joy, was not placed there by the world. It was placed by me. And what I place, I myself fulfill. Second sign. In recent months you went through a process of emotional cleansing. Old memories returned. Hurts that you thought had passed reappeared out of nowhere, like ghosts. You cried for no apparent reason. You felt anger at situations that happened years ago. You relived pains you thought were buried. You remembered words someone said 10, 15, 20 years ago, and felt as if they had been said yesterday. You woke up in the middle of the night with your heart tight because of someone who left your life a long time ago. And you thought, "I am regressing. I am getting worse. I am going crazy." But no, you were not getting worse. God was doing a deep cleaning in your heart, taking out the remains of those who should no longer occupy space in there, removing the roots of bitterness that prevented something new from flourishing, pulling out every fragment of hurt that was buried, but continued poisoning every attempt at a new beginning. Every tear you shed in this process was a piece of old pain being expelled from your system. Every memory that returned was a wound being opened for the last time, to be truly cleaned and finally heal. You were not getting worse. You were being prepared, because what God is going to deliver to you is so precious that the vessel needs to be clean to receive it. A heart full of remains from the past has no space for what is coming, and God needs space. Third sign, you felt strangely alone. Not the common loneliness of not having company, a different loneliness, as if something were missing that goes beyond friendship, beyond family, beyond routine. A specific void, a place in your heart that no other person can fill, no matter how hard they try. Your friends call you, but the void remains. Your children love you, but the void remains. You go out, distract yourself, work, pray, but when night comes and silence arrives, that empty space screams louder than everything. That pillow on the side that no one uses, that place on the sofa that is always empty, that extra plate you never put on the table, that space in the passenger seat of the car. Those who live in Brazil and are over 35 years old know what it is to arrive home after a whole day and have no one to share even the silence with. Not having someone to ask how the day was, not having a hand to hold when the news is bad, not having a shoulder to lean on when the fatigue is too great to carry alone. This void is not your defect. It is reserved space. It is like a place at the table that already has a name written on it, only the person has not sat down yet. God did not make you to live incomplete. Genesis 2:18 says, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make for him a helper suitable for him." This void you feel is the reserved chair that God prepared, and the person who will sit there already exists. They already breathe. They already think of you. They just have not crossed your path in the visible world yet. But in the invisible, they are already on their way. If you recognize 2 or 3 signs so far, what God is moving in your emotional life is real and is underway. There are 2 signs left, and they are the most revealing. 4th sign. You have been feeling a restlessness about your appearance, your way of being, your value. You look in the mirror and criticize yourself more than you should. You think you are too old, too fat, too thin, too ugly, too simple, too dull, that no one would look at you in a crowded place, that your best years have already passed, that who would want someone of your age, with your history, with your baggage? You compare your body with that of younger people and feel you lost the competition before it started. You look at your reflection and only see what is missing, never what is there. You hide old photos because comparing yourself with who you were before hurts. And deep down really, you believe that to be loved, you need to be different from what you are. I need to tell you something with all the firmness of heaven. This voice that diminishes you is not me. This voice that convinces you that you are not desirable, that you have already passed your expiration date, that no one will want someone like you. This voice is the same one that wants to keep you away from what I prepared, because if you believe you do not deserve it, you will not recognize it when it arrives. If you believe that the time has already passed, you will close the door in the face of the blessing. If you believe your marks make you undesirable, you will hide precisely when you should appear. And that is what the enemy wants, that you reject the gift before opening it, that you say no before God finishes saying yes. Song of Songs 2:10 says, "Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. I do not call you despite what you are. I call you because of what you are." Every mark on your body tells a story of survival. Every wrinkle on your face is proof that you lived, resisted, and did not give up. Every scar is testimony of a war won. And for the one I prepared to be by your side, these marks are not defects. They are exactly what makes you irresistible. Because the person God molded for you does not look for perfection. They look for truth, they look for depth. They look for someone who knows pain and even so did not give up on living. 5th sign, this is the strongest one. And it is what is happening now. You are here watching this video. And since the beginning, something inside you did not let you leave. Something held you. Something made you continue listening even when your mind said, "This is not for me. This is not coincidence. This is not an algorithm. This is God positioning you in the right place at the right time to hear exactly what you need to hear before the next phase begins. Because the next phase of your life includes someone. And for this phase to begin, you first need to believe it is possible, that you deserve it, that God has not forgotten this area of your life. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "I know the plans I have for you, plans of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope." This future includes love, it includes company, it includes someone who will hold your hand and say, "I choose you," every day, with everything. Take a deep breath now. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs, what God is moving in your love life is already in an advanced stage. The person exists, the feeling exists, the preparation is happening on both sides, and the manifestation in the visible plane is closer than you imagine. But I need to be honest with you. There is something that can delay everything, and that something is inside you. It is fear. The fear of loving again, the fear of trusting again, the fear of surrendering and being destroyed once more. This fear is not weakness. It is a scar. It is the natural response of a heart that was hurt too much. But if you let this fear command, it will lock you in the same cell that the enemy built for you. The cell of permanent loneliness. The cell of "I do not deserve it." The cell of "never again." The cell where the walls are made of hurt and the door is locked by the pride of one who swore they would not suffer again. I know this cell. I know the walls seem safe. I know that inside seems easier than outside. But I also know that you were not born to live in a prison, that your heart was not made to beat alone, that the love I placed inside you was not made to die locked up. It was made to be given, to be received, to be lived with someone who will care for it like a treasure. Second letter to Timothy 1:7 says, God has not given us a spirit of cowardice, but of power, of love, and of self-control. The fear that paralyzes you did not come from God, and the love that is arriving, that indeed is of my authorship. It is custom-made. It is strong enough to endure the storm. It is deep enough to reach the parts of you that no one else managed to touch. Now I'm going to ask you for something, and I know it is difficult, but I need you to do it. Tonight, before sleeping, I want you to say a prayer different from all those you have ever made. Not a prayer asking for someone, not a desperate prayer of one who feels that time is passing, a prayer of surrender, of delivery, of permission. I want you to say, out loud or in the silence of your heart, Lord, I give you permission to tear down the wall I built. I know this wall protected me for a long time, but today I understand that it no longer protects, it imprisons. Lord, I give you permission to bring whom you prepared. I will not reject before knowing. I will not sabotage before starting. I will not flee before trying. I trust. I trust that the love you chose for me will not destroy me. It will rebuild me. I trust that the person you prepared did not come to repeat my story of pain. They came to write a new story with me. I surrender myself, not to fear, not to loneliness, not to disbelief. I surrender to the Lord. Do as the Lord promised. Amen. This prayer, if made with truth in the heart, unlocks what fear locked. It is not magic, it is faith, it is a decision. It is opening the door that you yourself locked and saying, I am ready. In the next 72 hours, pay attention. Something will happen. It could be a message from someone you did not expect. It could be an encounter that seemed impossible. It could be a dream so real that you will wake up with your heart beating differently. It could be an inexplicable peace about this area of your life that tormented you for years. When it happens, do not dismiss it. Do not rationalize it. Do not pretend it is a coincidence. It is God fulfilling what He promised. Everything you heard in this video did not fall on your screen by chance. You did not get here out of curiosity. You were brought, guided, positioned. And if your heart recognized these truths, if tears came, if a shiver passed, if hope returned, even if for a second, it is because your soul already knew what the mind resisted accepting. God has not given up on your love life. The person exists. Love is real. And it arrives even when you have already stopped waiting. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This material goes beyond the theme of love. It opens your eyes to understand how God operates in every area of your life, how to recognize His movements, how to stop sabotaging blessings because of fear. Those who read it told me it was like receiving a personal letter from heaven. The link is in the description of the video and at the top of the comments. There is no better moment than now. Every night you sleep without this understanding is one more night living below what was prepared for you. Access it, read it with an open heart, and let God do what He does best. Surprise those who had already given up on waiting. If this video touched something inside you, write in the comments, I deserve to be loved. Declare this. Let heaven hear it. Let the enemy hear it. And if there is someone in your life who is also tired of love, who built walls, who thinks they do not deserve it, share this video with that person. Sometimes the word God needs to deliver arrives through those we least expect. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay with me, because this story does not end here. The best chapter is being written now. Until the next video, my son, my daughter, you are loved. More than you know, more than you feel. And soon, more than one person will prove it to you.